So, hi guys. Hi, it's such an amazing Friday. Today is Good Friday, and today is the day whereby we get to celebrate the death of Jesus Christ. Okay, forgive my sweating. I'm from exercising. Of course, you have to keep healthy and keep fit. Anyway. So, as I was having my exercise, okay, I had a walk, and I was asking myself, why is it that we call today Good Friday? Why? And yet it's the day whereby we get to celebrate the death of Christ. So yesterday I was in a space whereby we were getting to speak about the death of Jesus. And basically it's not basically about going into the Bible, blah blah blah, and all that sort. But it's just getting to really think and be like, why is it that you call today Good Friday? And I remembered the speaker was speaking about an invention, something that Steve Jobs said. Steve Jobs said that death in itself is actually the single best invention, single best thing to ever be invented. And so we were having group discussions and we were asking ourselves, what do you think about that statement? Funny enough, I was having very young people, yeah, as we were people who are young and below 25 and like 25 and below. Yeah, and so funny enough, most of the people agreed with that. For me, I thought that maybe kitu, like, okay, for my expectation, I thought that people would be really against it. Because for me, I was like, ingekuwa ni watu kama 80s 90s huko ndio anaulizwa hii swali, I think they will say, that is the best. But to my surprise, I was like, people who are below 25 are actually, most of the people are actually up to it. Each one of them, I'm actually one of those people who was really supporting that saying. Because for me, my opinion was that I feel like death gives us the agency of life. Because I feel like if there was akungekwanga na death at all, I feel we'll be postponing things. Like because zile are like, I mean nitasoma nikifika miaka 500 ama nitasoma nikifika miaka 340, so we wouldn't have the agency of life, and then we wouldn't have had goals for ourselves. And I don't think like we'd have had resolutions the way we usually have resolutions, vision boards, because I'm like, this year you may never know when is the day that you're going to die, but then you'll be like, at least you've lived all you can, you've lived all you can, so that by the time that unaenda Kozila's like, I did my best, so I feel like death gives us the agency of life. I love for something else that the speaker was saying. He was saying that, death is actually something good because something has to die so that something better gets to come. Because not even in the physical space or in the physical setup of death, but maybe even in the emotional, mental, spiritual, all those stuff, like there's something in you that has to die so that you may be able to get something else. Like for example, I feel like using this example a lot, but like that relationship that you had with that type of person had to die so that you may get better. Like it had to die so that a part of you that was really tolerating that person to literally die. Now I imagine that if that kind of death was not there, how would we be living? Like we'll be living, people, we will be suffering, will not have tungekuwa tuna grow, we would have been in that space whereby we are just living life like but because for me, I felt like I agreed with that statement, that for some reason death has to die so that something better to come, just like even in the death of Christ, like Jesus had to die so that we may have life and life eternally. Like he literally had to pass through it. And there's a saying that was saying, every Christian wants to get to heaven, but no Christian wants to get to heaven through death, yet it's the only way that you have to go, that is the only path that you have to go through so that you may get to heaven. Like everyone, each and every one of us has to die. And I remembered I shared this quote yesterday. Every year you pass through your death date, but chujuangi the 365 days, there's of course in one day you will die, sindio? And in that year you usually pass your death date, but ujuangi ni gani. Even me, I don't know. maybe itakuwa a day like today, maybe in the next 90, 100 years. Amen. Amen. But you never know, because it has literally to be there. So that's why we call it Good Friday, because Jesus had to die so that you may have life, and life within us. Because now, if he did not die, wouldn't have been able to go to God directly, would still be doing the sacrifices or all those kind of stuff which were actually happening. And there was a quote that was saying here, let me read it for you, that Good Friday and Easter serves as a reminder that when you are experiencing the darkest and lowest moments, when your soul is crying out of relief, when your very being knows something must be done but you don't know what to do, God is there. Because in this sense, ina remind us that, Christ alikufa, like he also went through the suffering, so that you may also be that, so that even in that place whereby you are at your darkest moment, you get to know that God is definitely there, and he is there with you. So I hope this message has literally get to serve you. And let me know, what do you think? Is death actually the best invention ever to be invented? Or are you against it? Or are you even 50-50? So that's it for me. Have an amazing Good Friday. Enjoy your Good Friday. And Christ is the reason for the season. Bye.